Good afternoon and welcome back to day one of NWR's Virtual Investor Conference, Series 11. My name is Max Don and I'll be your host for today. Up next today, we have Radiopharm Theranostics. Radiopharm is focused on the development of radiopharmaceutical products for diagnostic and therapeutic uses in areas of high unmet medical need. This morning, we have Radiopharm CEO and Managing Director, Riccardo Canevari, presenting. Before I throw it over to Riccardo, I remind viewers on the call that they can ask questions via the Q&A function on Zoom, and we will endeavour to have these questions answered at the end of the session. Riccardo, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Max. Thanks for having me. Very pleased to be here. So before introducing the company, I believe it's important to share why we are here and what is our overall objective. And if we look at the oncology market, of course, is a very broad market. Targeted therapy and chemotherapy are still the most used platform. But we see in the last 10 and 5 years, really important emerging therapies in immuno-oncology and in cell and gene. So when we look at this market, we ask ourselves, so what is next? So beyond immuno-oncology and checkpoint inhibitor, beyond CAR-T and any other cell and gene therapy, what is going to be the next platform? What is going to be the next growth opportunity in this market? And we strongly believe these are radiopharmaceutical therapies. And those therapy has the opportunity to be used either as monotherapy or as combination therapy. Of course, we are not the only one believing that the sector is going to be very interesting. And that's why large pharma decided to do bolt-on acquisition in the space. So, for example, Novartis not only decided in 2018 to buy AAA and Endocyte for $6 billion, but is expanding the pipeline. Bayer, in addition to Xofigo, decide to expand, and AstraZeneca is entering this market. So there is a lot of attention in terms of M&A and bolt-on acquisition. And the main reason is science. There are emerging scientific evidence that radiopharmaceutical therapies has the potential to change the treatment paradigm. We have proof of concept in neuroendocrine tumors. We have proof of concept and approval now from FDA in prostate cancer. And more, this is expecting to happen in multiple more solid tumors. So that's why Radiopharm Theranostics was created in February 2021 as an Australian company. Paul Hopper, a very well-known person in the space, was able to build the company and to raise an important amount of funds. And we were creating a very important ambition. The ambition to become a recognized leader in fighting cancer, leveraging the innovation of radiopharmaceutical therapies in area with high unmet medical need. And we saw before why this market is getting extremely interesting. So our approach is unique. We believe in a scientific proposition that in solid tumor, if you combine the right molecule with the right isotope in the right disease area, you have the potential to change the outcomes in patients living with oncological disease. So we have a very broad pipeline. We decide to start not with 1 or 2 molecules, but with 8 unique molecules. We were able to secure them either from private company or a very important institution. And now we have these 8 molecules Some of those has been already in human, in multiple patients, and some of those are starting now new clinical trial. And the combination of this unique molecule with the isotope, either alpha or beta emitter, are delivering this unique solution of radiopharmaceutical therapies. And as RAD, we can target up to 9 different disease areas. I can give you some example: HER2 breast cancer, triple negative breast cancer, prostate, lung. These are very high prevalence area, but also other disease where prevalence is not so broad, but the unmet need is extremely high. Pancreatic cancer, head and neck, ovarian, osteosarcoma, and glioblastoma. So it's a huge opportunity we have here to leverage our pipeline, combining with the right isotope, and deliver solution in 9 different oncological disease areas. Our approach is to be sure that we invest our money in the development of the clinical plans. We have a very limited structural cost. We are a small team, and actually we just released a few days ago our quarterly results, and you can easily see that we have very important progresses in the last 3 months in terms of our ability to accelerate the clinical development with very limited costs spent in activities that are not critical. So this is a business model that we believe is important, and we will continue to follow. So the next 18 months are going to be very important for the company. 2022 is a year where we expect to have 5 important clinical milestones. First, we expect a phase 2 readout for our trial in UK for patients with brain metastasis. And in addition to the phase 2 readout, we plan to start 4 new clinical trials, 2 in US and 2 in Australia. And 3 out of these 4 are with therapeutic radiopharmaceutical. So very soon we will be starting a clinical trial in HER2 breast cancer, then a trial in lung cancer, PD-L1 non-small cell lung cancer, and also in prostate cancer. So a lot of activities for 2022. We want to be sure that we will start the trial properly. We will start with the right execution. We have everything in place to ensure patient enrollment with the right speed. And if we do it right, of course, then we are already thinking to 2023. And 2023 is going to be an extremely busy year, because not only we will have the multiple trial readout of the trial that are currently ongoing or that we will start soon, but also we plan to start 6 new therapeutic phase 1 trial next year. With this approach, we will have our entire pipeline in human, and this will be absolutely critical for us. And as you can see from this slide, this is probably one of the deepest, if not the deepest pipeline for a company with therapeutic radiopharmaceutical. So it's an exciting time. We are working very hard as a management team to make this happen. Until now, we have all the positive signal that our plan is going as expected. So it's going to be a really exciting time ahead of us. But let me focus on our latest acquisition. Only 3 weeks ago, we were able to in-license from UCLA a very important molecule with a unique mechanism of action. This is a monoclonal antibody that is very fast internalized. So this is a very important differentiating element versus other multiple monoclonal antibody available. And the inventor is a very well-known professor of UCLA, Dr. David Ulmer, that is also in our scientific advisory board. And the reason why we are so excited about this technology is that we have two sets of preclinical data that are really promising. The first one is in osteosarcoma. You can see the red and the blue line, how the tumor is under control only with 3 doses of the products, while in the black line, you see where we don't apply our therapy, how the tumor is growing fast. On the right side, you see the survival that is equally the same. No survival benefit if you don't apply our therapy. And you can see the red and the blue line. How at the end, at the experiment, still we have extremely high survival rates. And not only in osteosarcoma, but also in glioblastoma. Very similar picture, very promising preclinical data. And that's why we are excited to start and to accelerate the clinical development very soon. Our asset has multi-indication potential, but we decided to start with osteosarcoma. Osteosarcoma is an area of very high unmet medical need. It is an orphan indication, and this allows a faster regulatory process. And at the moment, unfortunately for the patient, that by the way are very young, there is almost nothing available except surgery and chemotherapy. So we want to go full speed in this indication and start our phase 1 soon. And we believe that soon means in probably less than 12 months from today. So this is just to share how our latest in-licensing is adding to already very promising pipeline. So in a summary, radiopharmaceutical therapy are going to be the new frontier in oncology. It's one of the fast-growing market, and they will continue to be. There is a significant interest from multiple institutions, large pharma investor in the space. And we believe that Radiopharm Theranostics not only has one of the deepest pipeline, not only we already have more than 150 patients already dosed with our products, but above all, the ambition we have is very critical. We want to make the difference in this market. We want to change and improve the outcome for patients living with oncological disease. And with this, thank you for following me. Thank you for your time, and I'm open to any question you might have. Thank you.
Thanks, Riccardo. We'll jump in with one question. What is your point of differentiation with the programs of companies like Telix and Clarity?
Well, first of all, as I mentioned before, radiopharmaceutical therapies are really at the beginning of their journey. So I'm very positive if multiple companies are in the space, because there is a need for the entire segment to have a higher adoption and to be better understood. So I don't see the other company as competitor, but as a company that have the same objective of making radiopharmaceutical therapy a critical decision for any new treatment algorithm. Back to your question, and more specifically, I like to say that we have probably the broadest pipeline in radiopharmaceutical therapy. We are in multiple disease area where either we are alone as Radiopharm Theranostics or we are the most advanced. So I think that we are very pleased with our pipeline. There are multiple areas of differentiation, and we plan to accelerate our clinical development in area of unmet medical need.
Thanks. And this question links back to the pipeline. With such a large pipeline, can you talk through how you manage the various assets and give priority to the right areas?
This is a very good question, because as we are a small team, it seems difficult to manage multiple assets at the same time. We decided to have a business model where we rely on multiple external partners. We have external CRO, we have external regulatory companies, we have external medical facilities that is helping us, as well as isotope producer. So the team is really doing an important job of coordinating all these activity. And most of our pipeline is, in particular the therapeutic pipeline, is entering now phase 1. And phase 1, as you know, are usually small trial between 10 and 20 patients. So at this moment, we have the capability and skills and capacity to bring all our pipeline to the next step.
Thanks, Riccardo. And one last question. Having worked within a leader within the pharmaceutical space previously, can you please explain what convinced you to join the Radiopharm team?
Well, I spent almost 20 years in Novartis. I was in Novartis in 2018 when we decided to buy AAA for 3.9 billion, Endocyte for 2.1 billion, and 6 billion in total in radiopharmaceutical. So when I was in AAA as Chief Commercial Officer, I had really the opportunity to see the value of radiopharmaceutical therapy, the value of those pipeline. So when I had the opportunity to join Paul Hopper and build a new company from scratch with a great ambition to make the difference in patients suffering with oncological disease, for me was kind of obvious decision. And I'm very pleased to be here. I'm very positive about the future of Radiopharm Theranostics.
Thanks, Riccardo. I look forward to seeing that pipeline come to fruition.